Adding resources for our project. Again, we have a new project 5.6 and here we are going to add the resources. To add the resources, we have to go to the resources window. Resources window can be seen by going to the enterprise toolbar and clicking on the resources, or clicking on the enterprise menu and choosing resources here. This will open up the resources window. Already we have a number of resources, but these are specific to engineering, construction or other projects already available in the enterprise. Our project is different, so I'm going to add a fresh resource ID tree structure, and in that we are going to have our resources. So I'll say plus. Now here I'm going to add the resource ID, and the resource ID name is advanced ID resources. I'll say mention it. Then here this is, again I'll copy the entire thing, advanced ID resources, and I'll say advanced ID resources. Then I'll say next. Resource type by default we are taking as labor. Then next. Price per unit we are not putting anything, so I'll continue with this. Then I'll say next. Then we'll have next. Roles also we are not having it. Resource calendar, we'll select an existing calendar. I'll say next. Instead of 5-day work week, we have already changed it to WebMS project calendar, and I'm going to assign this one. Then I'll say next. Then autocomplete the actuals for this resource, which is telling you whenever there is a change with respect to the resource, this will get auto completed. Then we'll say next and finish. Now I'm going to select this divider, double click here. Now we have advanced IT resources, but this is coming under E and C resources. So I'm going to take this movement and I'm going to move it to left. Then I'm going to move it to the top. So now it came on top because we want to add the resources here. Now here the resources, how to add the resources? Again we have to tell plus. This launches again the resource ID name or the new resource wizard. This setting we have already seen, assistance under edit, and there we are getting this wizard. So here the resource ID, the first resource ID is John Robinson. So I'll say John R ID and the name is John Robinson. So I'll say John Robinson here. Then I'll go to next. It is a labor resource, price per unit, default units, maximum is correct. Default units is this one, and John Robinson, let us say it is $100 per hour. This is we are changing here. Then we'll say next. Office phone and email, if you have, you can add. Roles, we can assign the roles. So here itself I'm going to say assign, and it is a product leader role, so I'll say assign the role. Then I'll move to the next again, and it is the primary role. If you remember in the earlier video I talked about primary roles and other possible roles. Then next, select an existing calendar. So by default WebMS project calendar is coming up because in the root node of this tree we have already selected WebMS project calendar. Then you will say next, then next and finish. So our resource got added. So when you go to the general tab for the resource detail, you have resource ID, the resource name, among other things. Now we are going to add a number of resources for our project, but that I already have is available for me. So I'm going to go to the folder, the tasks, the resources I'm going to take. So that is available here. The resources we are going to take. The resources, I already have a flat file, so I'm going to directly copy and paste. If you want to type one by one, you can do that. So I'll say next resource is Ravi M, and I can add. So I'll say plus again. Then here I'm putting Ravi M. Then I'm going to take the name of the person is Ravi Mukund. I'll say Ravi Mukund. And I'll say next, labor again it is $100 per hour, so 100 I'm going to put. Then next role, again you can assign. Ravi is also a product lead, so I'll say plus, and I'll say assign this resource. I'll close it, it's already assigned. Then we'll say next, existing calendar, again WebMS, next and finish. So it is Ravi Mukund. Again we have to take this icon here and move it to the left. So when you move to the left, it is coming as a proper tree structure. Now this is another way I am going to add a resource. So I'll choose this both resources, do a Control C and do a Control V. Now it is asking for copy resource option. We have to follow all this. I'll say OK. Now these two resources got added. Then again I'll take one, move to left, take the other one, move to left. So we are going to change the names. So again I'll take this 4, all these 4, and paste it here again. This is quicker, isn't it? So again I'll add it. So it got added under John. So I want to add it below Ravi M. So what I can do, I can right click and delete it. So this is how also you delete a resource. I'll say delete. I'll say yes. All got deleted. Now we have 4 resources. Already it is copied to the clipboard. So I'll take Ravi M1, and below that I'm going to add these 4 resources. So 4 resources now got added. Again we have to do the proper indentation for this one. Again this one by one we have to do. It doesn't allow for multiple indentation. So now we have these resources. Next I'll go to our flat file and I'll take the resources. So we have Rick when, I'll just type Rick. So here it is Rick, I'll type. The name is Rick when. Then you have Catherine, here it is Catherine R. And the name is Catherine Rice. Complete name, again Catherine Rice. Then we have Mohan M. These are all developers. We have to change the roles. So Mohan M. Then we have Mohan R. This is the complete name, Mohan MR. Then we have Eric S. So I'll type Eric S. Then we have Eric Sandler. We are going to have it. Then we have Giuliano S. So I'll copy Giuliano S. Again paste it here. The name is Giuliano Sanchez. So I'll go for Giuliano Sanchez. Then I'll go for Nandita D. So I'll copy Nandita D here. Go to Nandita D, paste it here. Again copy Nandita Dev. These are tester. So as you can see, we just added 8 resources here. Now these are all labor resources, and you have primary role product leader because we did a copy and paste. Default units per time is 8 hours per day, which is correct, and it is applicable for all. I am going to change the primary role. So for that I have to go to the roles here under this one, and I have to assign the role. So I'll say remove this one, and I'll say assign. We have developers. So this is a developer. Then Catherine, again remove this one, and it is Catherine is also a developer. Then Mohan again remove. Mohan is not a product leader, so we are going to Mohan is also a developer. Then you have Eric, again remove. Eric is also a developer, so I'll say developer. Then you have Giuliano, again I'm going to remove. Giuliano is a tester, testing engineer, assigned. Then you have Nandita, again remove. Nandita is also a testing engineer, and I'll say assign. So now the role got assigned, and here you are seeing the primary role coming in this column of resources. We also have manager role. So here again I'll take Nandita. I'll say do a control C, or we'll take 3 resources. One resource I'm going to take for the time being, and do a paste. I'll say OK. So again indentation we are going to do, and here it is. The manager is, we'll scroll down from here, Satya D. This is the real ID, and the name is Satya Das. We can put here. So I'll take Satya Das here. There is a space, so I'm going to remove it. Now here again under role, we'll remove this role. Product lead, we'll assign the last one, that is project manager. So the role is that of a project manager. You can put your name if you are managing the project. So your name can be anything, and because you are watching this lesson, so you can put your name as the project manager. Now we have also material resource as well as non-labor resource. So we have to add also non-labor and material resource. So how to do that? Again I'll choose this two. Let us take that and do a control C and control V. I'll say OK, and I'm going to take this one, move to left, take this one, move to left. Now here itself going to material. So this is a test non-labor resource. So I'll say Mac T1. So it is Mac T1, and this is Mac T2. That is machine T1 and machine T2. Now here if you go to the general, so here it is saying the resource ID, but if you go to the details, it is taking default as the labor. Here itself you can change edit non-labor. So here also you can change it to non-labor. This one also I can take, and you can take it as a non-labor. So non-labor also you can take. Now here it is telling role, the primary role. These are not testing engineers or project manager. We have not defined any role for the material resources, and that is why we do not have any roles. So I'll go to the roles and remove this role. I'll say remove. Then Mac T1, and I'll say remove this role, and it is removed. Then how to add a material resource which is consumable. So for the material resource, again I'll do a control C and control V. Again we added, and this one I'm going to take. This is the DVD or the DVDs. or software for delivery. It's a delivery that will be related to the delivery work. So you can add DVDs for delivery. Again, do an indentation to the left, and we have DVD below, and we'll have to go to the details for DVD. Under details, we can change it to material, or here itself we can change it to material. I'm going to change it here. Now it is telling changing the resource type to material will remove all roles assigned to this resource, clear its overtime setting, and adjust units and prices. So for a material resource, you do not have any role associated. As I said earlier in the video, for the labor and non-labor resources, you have roles assigned. For the non-labor as well as labor resource, you can have overtime settings and adjustment with respect to units and prices. We want to remove it, and I'll say yes. Now it got changed to the material resource. So here we have material resource, and we have to set a unit of measure. So if you choose this one, unit of measure is basically the price. The units per time, $100 per hour. This is also $100 per hour. Now if you go for Mac T2, this is DVD. It is asking how many units you want every day. So here I'll go to the details, and units of measure we want to choose each. So I'll take each here, and I'm going to assign. So each got assigned. Again we'll go to units per price, and here we'll have, let us say, $5 per each DVD. So I'll say just 5. I'll remove it all, and I will say 5. So all removed. Now it is 5, and we want, let us say, 3 DVDs in a day. So that is what we want. So now it came up. This is units and price with respect to the material resource. Now here, as you can see, the unit of measure is coming as each, only for the material resource. There are also other units we have. So I can go to the details, and units of measure, as you can see, we have tons, dollar, lump sum, CPUs, yards, or square foot, that you can add for the material resources. So now we have, these are the resources that we have. These are all human resources. These two are the material resources. These two are the non-labor resources, and the last one, DVD, is the material resource. And all these resources we are going to use in our project.